Hello, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to PEP Online Program, Practicing English Today Through Online, with me, Diana Kalastari in KMbD Undiksha 2020. Today, in this great chance, I would like to explain a new material to you, and it's about conditional sentence. So, are you familiar about this topic? What is conditional sentence? Now, let's move to know the definition of conditional sentence. As you can read, conditional sentence, or sometimes known as if clause, is a kind of sentence that tells about a situation or condition and followed by its result. Usually, conditional sentence is hypothetical that might or might not happen. In conditional sentence, we have three different possibilities that probably happen, and they are some things that certainly happened, some things that probably happened, and some things that is impossible to happen. Jadi, dalam bahasa Indonesia, conditional sentence dikenal sebagai kalimat pengandaian. Kalimat pengandaian adalah sebuah kalimat yang menyatakan akan suatu keadaan yang diharapkan akan terjadi atau begitu pula sebaliknya. And now, let's talk about the types of conditional sentence. Commonly, in English, we have four kinds of conditional sentence. They are zero conditional sentence, first conditional sentence, second conditional sentence, and the last one is third conditional sentence. And we will discuss all of these conditional sentences. The first one is zero conditional sentence. What is zero conditional sentence? This is type of conditional sentence that tells about real situations with a very possible consequences. And usually this conditional sentence is used to state a general truth or fact. Jadi, kalimat pengandaian tipe ke-0 ini biasanya digunakan untuk menyatakan suatu keadaan maupun situasi yang pasti atau sudah akan terjadi. Dan biasanya hal ini akan merujuk pada suatu kebenaran umum ataupun berkaitan dengan fakta. And how about the pattern of zero conditional sentence? Usually, when we want to make conditional sentence, we will have two different clauses, the main clause and also the supporting clause. And we use simple present tense for all the clauses. The structure of the clause can be put interchangeable. You can put if clause in the very beginning of the sentence or at the end of the sentence. Jadi, untuk kalimat pengandaian tipe ke-0 ini, biasanya menggunakan simple present tense. Dan klausa yang ada dalam kalimat dapat diletakkan secara bertukaran. Dalam artian, if clause di sini dapat diletakkan di awal kalimat ataupun di akhir kalimat. Nah, untuk pengertian lebih lanjut, sekarang kita lihat pada contoh yang telah disediakan. Now, let's have a look for the examples. The first one is, if you hit the ice cube, it melts. So this is the example of zero conditional sentence because it talks about a fact, about the general truth. Because whenever you hit the ice cube, it melts. So this sentence use simple present tense within the sentence, and this is kind of general truth. So now let's have a look for the second example. Oil floats if you put it in the water. This is the other examples of general truth, and this is zero conditional sentence, which is written in simple present tense. Because we know that whenever we put oil and water together, they can't be mixed, and oil will always float if it is put in the water. Now let's look for the other conditional sentence, and it is first conditional sentence. What is first conditional sentence? This is type of conditional sentence that tells about a situation that might happen in the future. And the consequence has possibility to occur depending on the situation. Jadi, kalimat pengandaian tipe pertama ini merupakan jenis kalimat pengandaian yang sesuatu atau keadaan bisa saja terjadi di masa depan. Jadi sesuatu yang diharapkan itu memiliki kemungkinan untuk terjadi. Lalu bagaimana dengan pattern atau pola yang digunakan untuk kalimat pengandaian tipe pertama? Untuk kalimat pengandaian jenis ini, first conditional sentence, kita akan menggunakan dua tenses yang berbeda, yaitu simple present tense dan simple future tense. If clause akan selalu menggunakan simple present tense, dan klausa yang lainnya akan diikuti dengan simple future tense. So now let's have a look for the examples. The first sentence is, if the students study hard, they will pass the examination. So this is kind of first conditional sentence that show that something can happen in the future. It depends on the situation. Jadi pada kalimat pertama ini menyatakan bahwa jika murid belajar dengan giat, mereka akan lulus ujian. Jadi ada kemungkinan bahwa murid ini akan lulus ujian jika mereka belajar dengan giat. Now let's have a look for the other example. You will feel tired if you don't get enough rest. So this is also kind of first conditional sentence that give a possibility, a situation that might happen in the future. Pada kalimat kedua ini, menyatakan bahwa kamu akan merasa lelah jika kamu tidak istirahat yang cukup. Dan ini merupakan sebuah contoh kalimat pengandaian yang bisa saja akan terjadi di masa depan. It depends on the situation, tergantung dengan situasi yang terjadi. Jadi, peletakan if clause dalam kalimat conditional bisa diletakkan di depan ataupun di belakang. Pada kalimat pertama, if clause ditulis pada bagian awal, sementara pada kalimat kedua, if clause ditulis pada bagian akhir. Yang harus diingat adalah first conditional sentence menggunakan simple present tense dan simple future tense. Dan if clause selalu ditulis dengan simple present tense. Now we talk about the second conditional sentence. What is second conditional sentence? Second conditional sentence is a type of conditional sentence that tells about a situation that unlikely happen in the future. Something can happen but probably won't happen. Simply, the situation is unreal and impossible to be realized. Jadi, untuk tipe kalimat pengandaian selanjutnya adalah kalimat pengandaian tipe kedua. Biasanya, kalimat pengandaian tipe kedua menyatakan bahwa sesuatu sudah tidak mungkin terjadi dan sangat impossible untuk direalisasikan. Dalam hal lain, situasi ini merupakan situasi yang tidak sebenarnya atau tidak nyata. And how about the pattern of second conditional sentence? In second conditional sentence, we use two different tenses, simple past tense and past future tense. Remember that if clause will be written in simple past tense, meanwhile the other clause is written in past future tense. Jadi dalam kalimat pengandaian tipe kedua, kita menggunakan simple past tense dan past future tense. If clause akan selalu ditulis dalam bentuk simple past tense, sementara klausa yang lainnya akan ditulis dalam bentuk past future tense. Now, let's have a look for the examples. If Amanda finished the test earlier, she would spend her summer holiday in Japan. This is type of second conditional sentence, in which this situation is unreal or cannot happen, because the fact is Amanda doesn't finish the test and she doesn't spend her summer holiday in Japan. Jadi untuk kalimat yang pertama ini, jika Amanda menyelesaikan tugasnya lebih awal, dia akan menghabiskan waktu musim panasnya di Jepang. Namun pada kenyataannya, Amanda tidak menyelesaikan tugasnya, maka dia tidak menghabiskan liburannya di Jepang. Pada second conditional sentence ini, situasi yang diharapkan itu tidak dapat terjadi ataupun sangat impossible untuk direalisasikan. Lalu kita lihat pada contoh yang kedua. I would buy a necklace if I won the lottery. Saya akan membeli kalung jika saya memenangkan undian. But the fact is, I don't buy necklace because I don't win the lottery. Namun pada faktanya, saya tidak membeli kalung karena saya tidak memenangkan undian apapun. Jadi pada kalimat kedua ini, situasi yang disampaikan juga impossible atau tidak mungkin terjadi. Because the situation is unreal. The last type is third conditional sentence. What is third conditional sentence? It's a type of conditional sentence that tells about a situation that is very impossible to happen in the past. Usually, we use third conditional sentence to express a regret or something that we wish to happen differently. Jadi, untuk tipe terakhir dari kalimat pengandaian adalah kalimat pengandaian tipe ketiga. Biasanya, kalimat pengandaian ini digunakan untuk menyatakan suatu keadaan yang sudah benar-benar tidak mungkin terjadi. Dan biasanya, kalimat ini juga digunakan untuk menyatakan suatu penyesalan atau suatu keadaan yang diharapkan terjadi di masa lalu, namun tidak dapat terwujudkan. And how about the pattern of third conditional sentence? In third conditional sentence, we use past perfect tense and past future perfect tense. And remember, if clause in third conditional sentence will be always followed by past perfect tense, meanwhile, the other clause will be written in form of past future perfect tense. Jadi dalam kalimat pengandaian tipe ketiga, tenses yang digunakan yaitu past perfect tense dan past future perfect tense. Dan ingat bahwa klausa jika akan selalu ditulis dalam bentuk past perfect tense, sementara klausa yang lainnya akan ditulis dalam bentuk past future perfect tense. Dan posisi dari klausa ini dapat ditukar, if clause dapat diletakkan di depan kalimat ataupun di akhir kalimat. Now let's have a look for the examples of third conditional sentence. The first one is, if I had received your letter, I would have sent you back. So this is kind of third conditional sentence in which shows a situation that is unreal and impossible to happen in the past. Because the fact is, I didn't receive any letter, so I didn't send anything back. Jadi pada kalimat pertama ini merupakan jenis dari kalimat pengandaian tipe ketiga yang menyatakan mengenai suatu situasi atau keadaan yang sudah tidak mungkin terjadi di masa lalu. Jika saya sudah menerima suratmu, saya sudah akan mengirim balasan. Namun pada kenyataannya, saya tidak ada menerima surat sehingga saya tidak mengirim balasan apapun. Jadi kalimat ini menyatakan suatu keadaan yang sangat tidak mungkin terjadi di masa lalu. Yang kedua, or the second one is, Tia would have bought Rob a present if she had known Rob's birthday. This is also kind of third conditional sentence that tells about situation that is really impossible to happen. Because the fact is, Tia didn't buy a present and she didn't know when Rob's birthday is. Jadi pada kalimat kedua ini menyatakan bahwa Tia akan sudah membelikan hadiah kepada Rob atau untuk Rob jika dia tahu kapan ulang tahunnya Rob. Namun pada kenyataannya, di sini Tia tidak mengetahui ulang tahun Rob sehingga dia tidak membeli hadiah apapun untuk Rob. So, the conclusion is, for the third conditional sentence, this is kind of a conditional sentence that tells about situation that is really impossible to happen. After we talk about the pattern of conditional sentences for all the types, please pay attention for these important things. They are about the use of comma and also the use of be in second conditional sentence. We use comma if the if clause comes first, but if the main clause comes first, comma is unnecessary. For example, you can see from these sentences, if the if clause comes first, we have to put comma behind the clause. If I were you, I would go hiking. So in this sentence, we use comma. Meanwhile, if the main clause comes first, or in the other words, the if clause is written at the back, we don't need to put comma in our sentence. She will be angry if you eat her food, so we don't need any comma in here. And the second one is about the use of be in second conditional sentence. As we know, in English, we have some forms of be, and the use of be depends on the subject within the sentence itself. But especially in second conditional sentence, you will never find to be was in second conditional sentence because all the to be use were no matter what the subject it is. So look at the example. Instead of saying if I was, you have to say if I were. And instead of saying if she was, you have to say if she were. So the use of to be were for all the subjects is exists for the second conditional sentence, only for the second conditional sentence. Well, students, that's all our lesson today, which is about conditional sentence. I hope that you do understand on my explanation and it's clear enough for you. If you have any questions or something that you Well, students, that's all our lesson today about conditional sentence. I hope that my explanation is clear enough to you and you can understand it well. If you have any questions or something else that you would like to ask about the material, please drop your questions in the comment section. Hopefully, this video is beneficial for you and this can help you to learn and to understand the conditional sentence material more clear. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.